Hi, everyone. My name is Kai Armstrong. I'm the product manager for the editor group of the create stage of the DevOps lifecycle here at GitLab. And I wanted to talk to you about the 12.7 release and what we've got coming up in the editor group. So for 12.7, we've got a lot of backstage work happening, and this is all in preparation for some bigger things that we're looking to deliver down the road. And so the first thing that I want to talk about that we're really excited about is we're beginning to work on version control for snippets. And so if you remember from 12.6, we started refactoring the snippets view into view so that we could start to add new features there. And so in 12.7, we're beginning some work on the backend side of things in order to enable us to get multi-file snippets or to enable us to get version control for snippets. And then that'll bring us into multiple files for snippets as well. So there's a big epic. I'll link to it down below in the description. But if you take a look at the big epic, we've got a number of issues beginning this work in 12.7. It'll flow into 12.8, 12.9. We've got quite a bit of work to do to get this done, but this is where we're headed with snippets, and we're really excited about that. If we head back over the board, the next thing that I really wanted to talk about was continuing on. We mentioned we were doing that refactor. There's another refactor issue here that we're working on, some of the components related pieces here. So we're going to be refactoring that a little bit to get that into view as well as part of the snippet editing page. And so it's kind of one of those next steps. What I'm really excited to talk to you about too is in the UX space. And so we're not shipping this yet, but we are thinking about this. And one of the big requests is syntax highlighting preferences in the Web IDE. And so currently the Web IDE is always a black text on white background, no matter what your preference is in GitLab. And so we're going to start exploring how we can integrate these other syntax highlighting things that we support in Project View and what that needs to look like in the editor. And so you'll see here we've kind of mapped your syntax highlighting preferences to themes that we can use inside of Monaco to do this for the code space. But the other piece of that is there's a file tree in other areas here. So we're going to start examining these. If you take a look, this is what these things look like in VS Code. So we've got screenshots to all of these. So this is sort of what we're thinking these need to look like inside the Web IDE, and we're going to be exploring that to make sure that we have a cohesive experience kind of across the board for that. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is in 12.7, we'll also be doing some research around merge requests. And so merge requests are an integral part of how code is delivered into the project. And one of the ways that happens is through the Web IDE. So currently the Web IDE, when you make a merge request, when you start that process, you end up leaving your editor and going into the merge request workflow. And so a couple milestones ago, we built a prototype. And so we've got a prototype that allows you to make your merge request from right inside the Web IDE. And so when you click that checkbox that says start a new merge request, the new workflow shows up on the right-hand side to create that merge request. And we're pretty excited to try this out. We're going to be doing some testing of the prototype early in 12.7 to try and get some feedback. And if things look good, then we'll start laying out what that work looks like to bring that merge request workflow inside of the Web IDE. And the goal there is to speed up a second commit. So if you need to make a second commit, and so you don't generally break that editing experience of writing your code or writing your contributions and then leaving that window, and then, oh, if you need to make another change, you've got to go figure out how to get back into that workspace. And so we're trying to leave you in that workspace that you created that in, and then let you navigate out naturally. So those are the things we're working on in 12.7. It's a lot of backstage work, but it's all really important in terms of the next things that we want to ship for snippets. And so we're excited about that. I'll put links to everything down below, and if you want to check it out, feel free. And if you've got a preference for syntax highlighting, we're going to implement those probably one at a time. So we'll take some votes maybe in the issue for which one we should do first. So really looking forward to 12.7. It's going to be a great release. And as always, check the comments below. Thanks.